Hey, it's Maggie. I know it's been a minute trying to do videos and download things when you don't have power and you don't have signal and you don't know what's really going on in your world is a little bit difficult. Things have finally settled down some. We have electricity, we have sewer, we have water. We're under a boil order, but that's nothing compared to some of my neighbors who have lost everything, including some of them their lives. This is nothing. But I wanted to kind of share some of the tools that I found were beneficial, and some things I found ended up not being useful. So I have a few of the things here gathered, and I'm going to try to make a video over today and tomorrow of the different items and the different things I did that helped us, because we went 5 days without power, most of that time without sewer also, and under a boil order. So one things I found was this magnetic door thing. It's one of those infomercial things that I thought was ridiculous, but here, I'm going to try to scan over there. See, we have a door that goes to our garage. So by putting one of these up, we can have that cross ventilation plus our front door and our sliders. So that worked out well. And we are very fortunate. We had decided to spend the money and put hurricane windows in this year, and it's very expensive. But with my wife being a deputy and myself being in healthcare, we both got activated. We both ended up going to work. And when you're trying to figure out what you're going to need for days when you're away from home and getting things set, not having to worry about the shutters was a big deal. But that made it easier too when we got home to be able to not have to worry about those shutters, all of that. So one thing we did was these magnetic screen doors worked out wonderfully for the garage so we could open that up. Next thing, those solar powered landscape lights. Now you may see people say, oh, get the Dollar Tree ones. They're just not strong enough. I mean, they might be all right for like kids, but this is one of those heavy duty spotlights. It was like $19 at Lowe's. You charge it outside, and then I literally got those spaghetti jars. I laid them on their side, whatever. They're powerful. They are a strong spotlight. I don't know if I can get it to turn on where we're inside. There we go. I mean, they're strong. So when you go to Lowe's or Home Depot, go for the spotlights that have the highest lumens possible. And you can get them for not that expensive. And, you know, pick up like one a month and put them in your yard. They'll make your yard look good, all that jazz. We have cats. So after Hurricane Irma, when now my adult cat was a kitten and was very curious with candles, I've learned we can't do candles. I do have one type of candle I will get, and that's those citronella candles. And this may sound weird, but I actually sit these outside of my door. You know those metal landscape tables you have? I stick those outside of my screen doors in the evening, and I light these off. So less chance of bugs and no seams being able to come through the screen, because I know that you're like, bugs don't get through screens. Bugs get through screens. So this is just an extra defense to try to keep the mosquitoes and the no-see-ums out of the house, but yet not having a candle or those chemicals in the house. So I recommend this, but again, I put it outside of the screen door to keep it away from the cats. Okay, this is a Sky crank radio. I got it on Amazon. This thing is amazing. You could still, I'm sure you could find something, if not the same exact one. It's got a solar panel on it. See that? It's got a crank. So you're like, oh, great. You have a radio. You can crank it. You can solar power. It also has charging points. So literally you're able to listen to the radio and charge your cell phone or charge something else. It's got the flashlight, everything. Love it. It was a godsend. Okay. Going along the solar thing, this I also got on Amazon. It was a stocking stuffer. It's a cell phone charger. And we set it out in the sun, and literally all day charging on it, we were able to charge 3 cell phones. An Apple and 2 Galaxy's cell phones were able to charge off of this. And what we did was we'd have this on the bench out front of the house, and then we had a large charging cord going into the house so the cell phones wouldn't have to be in the direct sunlight. So we could actually charge more than just after hours. Great investment. It wasn't expensive. I mean, none of this stuff is super expensive because I'm cheap. So my goal was to figure out how to do this and not break the budget, because we spent like $10,000 on hurricane windows. There was no more money for this stuff. These little lights, they were like, I want to say like $5 a piece at Lowe's. And they're actually chargers. You charge them. So we were able to charge them from the solar chargers. And these are great for the hallway to the bathroom, everything else, because your house gets dark when there is no street lights. There is no ambient light. There's no USB lights. There's no lights at all. It is black. So just having these little lights will make it so that you can find your way around. One of these big ones, you're like, but you didn't, no, we didn't use candles, really. We did use our grill, and we used our fire pit. And I'll show that later in the video, our fire pit and the stuff I got to go with it to make it easier to cook on it, along with the grill, because it can be difficult to find sometimes propane, or it can be difficult to find gas, or it can be difficult to find firewood. So you need to be able to have multiple multiple alternatives for when you need to cook. We had some battery flashlights. We didn't have many because it can be hard to find batteries. This is one we had. It runs on AA batteries. It's very, very bright. And just love it. It folds up tight, put it away. We have a couple of these. They were inexpensive at Lowe's. You can get them on Amazon. Even at my work at the healthcare facility, we have these. This is what we use for power outages because they fold up so tight. They stay good, and they're very, very bright. Duct tape. I used duct tape for so many random things. I really recommend a roll of duct tape and a roll of blue painter's tape. Both of them come in handy very, very much in an emergency. So always duct tape and blue painter's tape. Of course, have basic tools, but tools people don't think about is these ridiculously small screwdrivers. Okay, they're the really small ones. This one's Stanley. I think I got it for like $9.99 at Harbor Freight or something. But the little flashlights and the little charger things, all these stupid things, they have these little tiny screws, and our regular screwdrivers won't fit. Or eyeglasses, your eyeglass breaks and you're trying to fix it. Having these screwdrivers will make it so you can do it, okay? So I really recommend one of these sets of small screwdrivers. They were a saving grace. Damprids, hurricanes or moisture. So no AC. Our AC takes a lot of the humidity out of the air in our houses. no AC, we're opening it up, there's all that moisture, that water, you're going to have moisture issues in your house. So one of the first things we do when we open up the house is we start hanging these, and I get the closet ones. They're easier to deal with. I get the closet Damprids and I hang them in all the closets, but I also hang them on the curtain rods by the windows and stuff to try to avoid that. But moisture is a real issue after hurricanes. Okay, so those are some of the very basic things that I have for hurricanes right off the bat. And I'm going to stop filming and then I'll do the rest of it. I'll go outside and show you some things we have outside. Okay, so this is the grill that we got to go on my beat up old fire pit. Okay, this is our simple grill. It's very small. We didn't need anything big. And it just hangs out on our patio. Okay. There's funnels. Get every size you can get of funnels. You'll be amazed at what you need them for. So gas cans. We got gas cans. We got gas. We don't have a generator. So we honestly didn't really need the gas cans. So if you live in a metropolitan area and you don't use a generator, I don't know if gas cans are really worth the effort. Okay, so other things. Work gloves. Get a couple pairs of work gloves. I like these leather heavy duty ones because we have cactuses and prickly bushes and stuff, and also because of glass. And then these are good so you don't get as bad of blisters when you have to rake and shovel. Okay, but I recommend these. 5-gallon bucket. As many 5-gallon buckets as you can. Okay, now we're into my trunk. What I carry in the car. It's going to seem odd. I carry a shovel because I've actually had to use them to make sandbags and to unstick a car. My emergency bucket. I have jumper cables, hammer, a bottle of water, some ace bandages, some more tape, bungee cords, knife, some basic matches, first aid kit. Then down here in my secret little compartment, I have a crowbar, an axe, a hacksaw, and another pair of jeans. Okay, so I hope this helped. I am going to try to go back to my actual content and get out of the hurricane world soon. Actually, I think my next video is going to be a trip back home. So I may have some pretty video of New England in the fall. But thank you. Stay safe.